I did the last 5 days. I can actually breathe. I'm still a little bit congested, but as far as like the main issues with the Wu flu that I had, they're pretty much gone. Nose is now stuffed up a little bit. And tomorrow I'll be able to move around a little bit and go out and do stuff. I am not really sick anymore like I was. Okay. I'm not contagious, so I'm done. It's done. I'm done. It's over, which is good. It's very, very interesting going through this. I'm sure 2 years ago it would have been far different because that was actually a different type of COVID virus. It was the first one. And if you ever do any epidemiology or just even from your biology 101 class in school, just to get through it, viruses mutate and they evolve. Germs, we already know superbugs have evolved to survive antibiotics in certain cases. Viruses to change, and a very strong virus tends to end up being weaker. So this is basically like having the flu. I felt like it. Ran a similar course, about 5 days. Sometimes the flu goes a lot longer. In fact, I would say I've had flus that were far worse. Okay. In 2016, the first week after Thanksgiving, I was on my ass from the flu. I could not move. And it took me about 2 weeks to get over that even after the after effects, because it just leaves you completely done. Now I'm tired, but I think that's mostly your body's exhausted from fighting, and you just need to replenish your batteries, nutrition, sleep, things like that. So I know people go out and exercise. It's like, I'm not gonna quite do that yet. We'll give it a little bit of time. Anyway, talk about KENOBI theory. So Friday, early, the day after Star Wars Celebration starts, we get the first 2 episodes of KENOBI. Now, there are people out there who are like, oh, Stranger Things is just gonna run it over. First off, I'm gonna tell you, for a long time, I was a hardcore, in-your-face, right-wing zealot. Not anymore. I'm a libertarian, which means I haven't given up my conservative views, but I see conservatives being as shallow thinking as the left. Okay? I see conservatives doing and saying things that harm their cause. I see conservatives being as unreasonable as they are, and then screaming, I'm a victim because. Stop pretending you're a victim. You're not a fucking victim. Okay? If a TV show is organically diverse, and I mean by ethnicity, I do not look at color because I am not a racist. I don't believe race exists. That is a bullshit, divisive word that people on the left have created to divide people. Okay? I don't have a problem with it. All right? I don't have a problem with the Inquisitors being of different ethnicities and, skin tone, we'll say. I don't have a problem with that, and I don't think we should. If you look at what's been going on with the Republican Party. It's changed. The conservatives, like Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell, Mary Cheney, are being chased out. Elizabeth Cheney. are being chased out by Trump people. Trump people are not conservative, they're populists, and they're libertarians. Leave me alone. That's what that means. Don't come near my kids. That's another thing what that means. Okay? Keep your promises. The three people that I named here don't intend to keep any promises they've made to you. Okay? They never have. Mitch McConnell has been in D.C. since before I was in D.C. And he is a joke. You know, so when I look at what's going on in the world, and I'm going to bring this up because I've been told I'm delusional by certain people for looking at last week's news, you know, the Vanity Fair article and the Hollywood Reporter, that Kennedy's leaving. She is. All right? I don't give a flying fuck how you feel. This is not about how you feel. This is what it says. When I am told by people that using all the evidence throughout the last 2 years and concluding that she's leaving by these two things, well, the Atlantic article has been rebutted by this. No, it hasn't been, you dolt. It hasn't. Again, you're talking out of your ass. Hey, Ben. How does Kennedy saying we made mistakes? That's as good as you're ever going to get her to admit to any, too, by the way. All right, I'm going to tell you right now. If you expect Kathleen Kennedy to get on her hands and knees and say, I was wrong, it's all my fault, you're smoking some really good dope and I want some. Because I'd like to see what color the sky is in your world. Okay? That's never going to happen. All right? Again. And I'm going to come at from another, before we start talking about Kenobi. Conservatives are people who believe the glass is half empty. Leftists spill more water out of the glass. Now, there are other conservatives that are more like Donald Trump, Ronald Reagan. I don't consider Ronald Reagan a conservative. I think a populist. Okay. And a slight right-wing libertarian. They look at the glass and say, it's a glass of water. And an optimist says it's half full. I look at it and say, this is a glass of water. It doesn't matter if it's full or empty. It is a glass of water. That's it. Final. That's exactly what it is, sci-fi universe. But guess what? There are people smarter than you and me out there who are going to tell you you're wrong and you're crazy, okay? All right? So you need to shut up. And they'll get very aggressive with you, okay? Anyway, it is time for conservatives to have a good hard look at themselves, okay? All right? You want to fix this? Look at who your party leaders are. You want to fix Star Wars? Let Jon Favreau do what he has to do and stop fucking complaining. You want Kennedy to go? Sit back and be fucking patient. All right? And do not tell people who have done the lion's share of the work here, because none of you have, all knee-jerk reactions to everything. You know, raised by the internet, even if you're in your 40s or 50s. Okay? Look, you're right, sci-fi universe. Anyway, this has to play out, okay? And attacking me and others saying that Bob Chapek is working behind the scenes. When I have somebody, and I'm not going to say who, and no, it wasn't Cameron, say they are not going to tell you what they're doing behind the scenes, because that's not how Disney fucking works. And all you see is the surface stuff, and you completely fucking ignore everything people are telling you. People who are in business, in finance. I don't know what to say to you. Okay? Actually, we don't want Kevin Feige either, because he's just as bad. He's just as bad as Kennedy. I mean, he's taken Marvel in the fourth phase and turned it into a shithole. I mean, look, I love Egyptian history. When I was uh, 8 years old and I went to the Field Museum to see King Tut's treasures, saw the mask, they're still not sure really how they made it. And it was absolutely, you cannot believe what a gorgeous, they do. They do. His name is Jon Favreau. Okay, let me finish. I fell in love with it. I love Egyptian archaeology. They do robot slow-mo. It's Jon Favreau, okay? When you got that and you're looking at it, and I was excited to see it. I was horrified by Moon Knight. Horrified. It was boring. Oscar Isaac, in my opinion, is overrated. Okay, he's a character actor. He is not a leading man by any means. The writing was stupid, and it did a disservice to Egyptian mythology. All levels. All right? I'm like, and it was like watching a car accident in slow motion. Okay. Is Doctor Strange gonna do good? I don't know. But when I look at how much it costs to make it, and I see what's coming in, I don't see Bob Chapek and the board being happy with it. Okay? They have to get rid of the dead weight, the woke dead weight. Now, I'm gonna add this. When you look at Netflix cutting woke shit, telling their employees, if you don't like a performer or something we have on here that isn't woke, you can leave. Okay? When you've got David Zaslav cutting woke shit everywhere, here's something that you will never hear a conservative or a black pill talk about when they're talking about Disney. How many here have Disney Plus, and how many here know what Love Victor is? Put a 1 in the chat. It is a coming of age, gay high school, romance, whatever the fuck. It was supposed to run 4 years, 5. They're cutting it after this season. Now, the people who like it don't realize it's being cut, that isn't going to be any more. All right? They don't realize that there wasn't going to be any more. Why? Why? They don't understand why. They're happy. They don't get it. Why? Because it's not woke. Nobody's watching it. Customers don't like it. Disney needs to get people to subscribe to Disney. Now, a lot of people say Disney doesn't have anything on it. It has a lot of stuff on it. A lot of good stuff, a lot of stupid stuff. The problem is the fucking Reimagine Tomorrow and the board fucking up instead of basically backing Chapek, saying, well, you have to do this, and so he did. It's a hostage video. But they have not said a word in a month about politics. Silence. It might be a great big manifesto on the website. It is meaningless propaganda and PR to assuage the morons. All right, they are selling woke shit in Disney, rainbow crap. So what? No one's gonna buy it. All right, no one's gonna buy it. This has to fucking play out. All right, Bob Chapek is not David Zaslav. I wish he was. I wish he was, because if he was, it would be a hell of a lot easier to watch all this happen. All right, he's not. Get over it. Get over yourselves. Okay, let's talk about Kenobi. So we've got 3 trailers now, several final teasers, and literally a clip. The whole clip when Owen is confronted by Obi-Wan. Okay, so this is what I think is going to happen. This is my theory. Obi-Wan is on Tatooine trying to fit in. You see what looks like an employee transport of some kind. He's going along, doing stuff, and you see a young Jedi arrive on Tatooine looking for Obi-Wan. And right behind him are the Inquisitors. Now, I'm going to get this off in sideways. There are a bunch of fluffy-brained dingbats running around thinking that because we know the third sister's name, Reva, that somehow the show's going to be about her. Oh my God, it's bait and switch. Wow. Did you know that many of the Inquisitors, we know their names from Rebels and Jedi Fallen Order? So there goes that idea. Crash and burn in. Okay. She shows up with 2 of the other, or at least 1 of the other Inquisitors. They capture that young Jedi, and Owen witnesses him being hung. Okay, that is a scene. You see the feet hanging down. You see Owen with a red lightsaber up to his throat. Owen has the shit scared out of him, and you can't really blame him. Obi-Wan has a confrontation with him, and Owen says what he says. You see Obi-Wan looking at Luke through binoculars, and who are you talking about, Andrew? Anyway, so he's looking at Luke. Luke is pretending he's a pilot. Cool. And Obi-Wan realizes the Inquisitors are there, and to protect Luke, he leaves. Now, there's a rumor going out there that Obi-Wan Kenobi goes off to rescue Leia, because she's been kidnapped. I don't know what the problem is. I really, really don't know. I don't really know at all, okay, with that. But I have a feeling we are going to see a young Leia in this. Probably Obi-Wan has a meeting with Bail Organa. Fine. And there's Leia running around doing stuff. Obi-Wan leads the Inquisitors on a wild goose chase. He does get into a battle with Vader. Oh my God, that ruins canon. Where in the original trilogy is it mentioned that the only time Obi-Wan and Vader faced off before A New Hope was the first and only time on Mustafar? Where? Find it for me. Find it for me. Tell me in what timestamp in the movie, whichever movie, 4 through 6, that is stated. The last time I saw your father, he was on fire in Mustafar, and I took your saber. Find it. I'll wait. They will fight. You got to remember that this is going to be a very psychological and emotional roller coaster, okay? And I look at a lot of the fandom and think, you guys aren't going to be able to handle this. By the way they handle life, Darth Vader wants to kill Obi-Wan. He blames Obi-Wan. Oh, I know that, sci-fi universes. He blames Obi-Wan for everything. And he blames the Jedi Order. Mostly he blames Obi-Wan. Okay, and he wants Obi-Wan dead. He wants to kill him. He's obsessed with him. He feels betrayed. And he feels like he was never like when Anakin say he doesn't appreciate me, he doesn't understand. This is the same attitude. All right, this is the same attitude. Only it's bigger because it's Darth Vader now. Okay? We are going to see something really unique happening. And we're going to see Anakin Skywalker as Darth Vader in as deep as he'll ever be in the dark side. Which is why Obi-Wan fails to turn him, which is what he's going to try to do when they face each other. Okay? Obi-Wan once thought as you did. Remember that? Return of the Jedi? He's more machine now than man, twisted and evil. This is the problem that Obi-Wan faces when he faces Vader. Okay? Now, no, she means Chapek. And I agree with her. I do. And as far as I'm concerned, people who have fallen for the black pill stuff about Bob Chapek, I don't know what to do with you. I could probably beat your ass in poker. All right? Everybody wants stuff written on crayon so they can feel good because it's all about their fifis. Even conservatives. And I never expected to live in the world where conservatives were emotional about business, about strategy. I'm like, we were the ones that were supposed to be worried about money, financial stuff. All right? Don't know what happened. But I think some of the left's loony binness has fallen off on a lot of people. Anyway, where was I? Okay, back to Obi-Wan and well, I know that, and that's the problem. Critical equation, I agree with. I would much rather not have her anywhere near it. And I think part of the problem that they're having with Obi-Wan now is her mule face showing up and ruining everything. Okay. Chapek knows she's poison. Jon Favreau knows she's poison. I mean, look. Let's go. All right. Let's leave Obi-Wan for a second, and get into the unpacking of the Vanity Fair article. There's one point when she set a play date for Favreau and Filoni. Who the fuck does she think she is? You don't talk about grown men like that. That was offensive to me. Second of all, I know she was lying. And everybody here who's ever watched Clone Wars knows she was lying. You want to know why? Because Jon Favreau had already done voices for Clone Wars back in when George owned Lucasfilm. So gee, Kathy, they already knew each other. Yeah, well, yeah, and we were told that. And Dave, certain people can't deal with it anymore. Certain people can't deal with the fact that, yes, we are going to see her try to rehab herself. We all know the truth. We know every word she said in the Vanity Fair article is a fucking lie from John and Dave. I mean, and I'll tell you something. There's just enough a hint of truth in what she said to make morons believe it. Okay? It's called propaganda. Good propaganda has a hint of truth to it, a kernel. Just enough. All right. COVID is bad. COVID kills people. Yeah. Is it dangerous for everybody? No. What do they do though? You need to have a vaccine because you'll die from it. Or you'll give it to somebody who could die from it. I had the vaccine. Didn't work, did it? Did it? No. No. And don't tell me I need to get boosted either. My husband had 4 boosters and it didn't work. He got it too. Okay? Okay, so go back to the Vanity Fair article. She says that she's at a play date. They've known each other for years. And Bob Iger said Jon Favreau approached him. So there's one lie, mark that out, lie. Second lie, she's talking about Alden Ehrenreich and the failure of Star Wars. And this is where I go, this is her admitting failure. This is her mea culpa. I don't care what anybody says. If you can read that and say she's not admitting failure for everything, I can't help you. When she says that you can't recast Han Solo after she did and Alden Ehrenreich failed, and that you can't recast, no one will ever play Indiana Jones again, okay? This tells me, A, she realizes that mistakes were made, 1. B, that they fucked up the sequel trilogy, okay? She doesn't have to say it. She's throwing J.J. Abrams under the bus here, okay? And Rian Johnson. And Pablo Hidalgo, who defended her choice with Alden Ehrenreich. Okay, I defy anybody now to be happy with a Solo fan or an SJW to be happy with what she said about Solo. You cannot replace Harrison Ford. She didn't come right out and say no one will ever play Han Solo. But she did say you cannot replace Harrison Ford. No one else is going to play Indy. Paraphrasing, but she said that. Really, Kathy? Really? You're now realizing that? You're realizing that after 6 years. Because Solo, was it 2018, the trailer came out. We were laughing at it. Alden Ehrenreich, oh my God. You know, everyone's going, wow. Looking at each other like, okay. Everybody told you, Kathy, Ehrenreich wasn't the right person. Well, you see, man, that's the truth. And this is why when people, look, here's the deal. I was told everything on that, in that article was a lie. But then this ironic thing happened where everything, because it was in there, was also, she's never leaving. Everything was a lie. It's propaganda. It's propaganda for her. And sorry, we weren't the targets for it. Hollywood was. All right. Vanity Fair used to be a great place to read good gossip about movies and you know, the media and stuff like that. Really great interviews. Dominic Dunn, if you know of him, go look him up. Go look and see some of the stuff he wrote. He was a writer and kind of a gossipy dude. His daughter, Dominique Dunn, was in Poltergeist. She played the older sister. She was also murdered by her boyfriend. Her boyfriend who stalked her, I think. Very tragic. Dunn himself was kind of an interesting guy. I would love to have had a conversation with him. Gossipy old fart. Anyway, Vanity Fair used to be a very high-class, glossy book. It is now a pamphlet. This is how low it's gone. All right. This article in Vanity Fair was Kathleen Kennedy rehabbing her history and her legacy. You go to Hollywood Reporter, and she doubled down on it. Okay. She again attacked Alden Ehrenreich. She again said Solo failed because of him, and the fans wouldn't accept him. Ask you a question. You cast the wrong guy. You're admitting he's the wrong guy. You're blaming him for it. But you turn around and tell the fans we're to blame because we didn't like him. Okay. Whose fault is this? Your fault, Kathy. It's your fault. Okay? Just like it was your fault not sticking up for George when you should have. Just like it was just like doubling down on no books or books or comic books or anything for a story. Oh God. You doubled down on that. Meanwhile, in the same story, Jon Favreau is talking about the expanded universe and bringing everything into it. Everything he can from the expanded universe into it. Okay? Now, does everybody see why this is bullshit? And why it's nothing but a bunch of crap so Kathleen Kennedy can save face? Okay. Back to Obi-Wan. How do I think it's going to end? I think what happens is Obi-Wan and Vader get into a fight. I think Vader kicks his ass. I think Obi-Wan barely survives. I think Vader realizes he's alive. But somehow doesn't follow up on whatever happens. And Obi-Wan goes back to Tatooine and sits watch over Luke. Okay, we're only going to get one shot at Obi-Wan. And I don't think we should have any more. We don't need to see him planet hopping. But I do think the reason why he goes off planet and goes to, what is it? What's a new city called? Daya? He goes to Daya. Okay. Is because no, she never watched the dailies, Dave. That is, yeah, I think Vader does. I think Vader wins this battle. Or it turns out to a draw. It's either Vader wins or it's a draw. All right. But I don't think Obi-Wan comes out as well as he did the first time. And I'm going to say this. I don't think he should. Okay? I don't think he should. Anakin, Vader, might not be as strong as, look, if Anakin had survived intact, the Emperor would be dead by now. He would have killed the Emperor. All right? He would have, this was the chosen one of the Force, born of the Force, begotten of the Force. Okay, remember, midichlorians are part of a Jedi's physical manifestation. And when he lost his limbs, he lost 20% of his power because those midichlorians are no longer there. All right? But I do believe look, it's a better story if it's a draw or Vader wins and Obi-Wan escapes. Okay? And the reason why is because it gives people something else to go, oh, wow. Yeah, and you're right. And Obi-Wan, according to Ewan, is demoralized. Look, we're looking at the galaxy in a very, very dark time. Okay? We're looking at things going on all right, that are scary. The Emperor has full control. They're committing genocide all over the place. What Jedi are left are running for their lives and hiding. Okay? And Vader is the scariest thing in the galaxy. I think he's scarier. I think Ewan McGregor said when he turned around and saw Hayden coming at him, or whoever was in the suit at the time, in the Vader costume, he was scared. He was scared. You need to be afraid of Darth Vader. You need to be afraid of him. This is what we're going to get. We're going to get Vader, who is more machine now than man, who is twisted and evil. Okay? This is where, look, I also think, and mark my words, there's going to be groaning and gnashing of teeth and pulling hair out. Reva, in her last moments, goes back to the light, and Vader kills her. In Jedi Fallen Order, the Inquisitor Trilla is fighting Cal. Vader appears and kills her. Okay, there's no reason for that not to happen. All right, that doesn't mean Reva's a bait and switch. Doesn't mean the story's about her. Okay. Oh, I think he does. I think he puts 2 and 2. And I think they've been playing cat and mouse within the Force. I think we're going to see, because remember, masters and apprentices are connected. Okay? Oh, I know. I know Sci-Fi Universe. That's exact, and that's word for word what Cameron's been saying. And we're going to have a field day with it. Okay, I'm going to be saying, I was right about this, 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 and this, and this, and this. Okay? And it's happening. I mean, I want to ask you a question. You put a 1 in the chat, because I know somebody's watching this. And I want him to see. You got Netflix basically telling their woke folk, get the fuck on the program and get the fuck out. And, cutting woke programming. You got Zaslav cutting woke programming. You've got Love Victor ending after season 3 on Disney. When you've got all this stuff going on, knowing how Disney does business, why wouldn't they be changing? Why wouldn't they be doing stuff behind the scenes? They haven't said a word in a month. Over 2 months. Despite the fact, the big manifesto on their webpage. Want to know why it's there? It's the placebo to shut these woke fuckers in Reimagine Tomorrow down. That's all it is. Okay? All right. Now, do I wish that Disney had been bought out by somebody like Zaslav? Oh, yeah. Because Kennedy would be gone. Feige would be gone. Reimagine Tomorrow would be shut down. I don't like any of this. We're getting rid of it. These guys are gone. They're not doing a good enough job. JPEG can't do that. He came up from inside the company. All right? Oh, Big Al. Yeah, I agree. Big Al. I am... Again, there's a lot of money and a lot of noise to be made if you're going to be a black pill. And if you're going to go this way with it. Okay? And that's fine. See, man, she's probably gone in October. Okay? Sorry to burst your bubble. But this whole thing going on right now, this was an attempt to rehabilitate her, hey, Deborah, her legacy on the way out the door. And it didn't work. Because when you look at both articles, it is failure after failure after failure after failure. She can't cover it up. And she can't use Mandalorian and Jon Favreau as a crash helmet. better. My voice is still a little gay, but I'm over the coof. I feel a lot better than I did. I'm still tired. You go 3 days with a fever, you're kind of like, and it broke like way early yesterday morning, like at 1 a.m. Sunday, Sunday morning. So yeah, so Sunday I was like, you know, and I did a live. I'm doing live today too. I'm still really tired, but fevers really knock you on your ass. I mean, I could not have gotten on a plane this week to go to Celebration, and I wanted to. And thinking about getting on a plane and the way I feel, no. It's just, no. I need at least another week of good food, a lot of water, and rest. Okay, Sci-Fi Universe. So, when you look at the totality, six days? Okay. Well, I haven't had a fever too, and there's just I don't buy that. I mean, tomorrow I'm probably gonna go shopping because I need to get out of the house. Um, anyway, you look at the totality of evidence, and you look and see what is going on with Kennedy and her attempt at trying to reshape her legacy. Maybe she won't be leaving until next year, but I don't think so. I think JPEG wants her gone. And I don't blame him. Look, he's in a hurry. Biggest mistake he made. All right. Ask you something about one of my favorite movies, The Godfather. So Vito is sitting there with Sonny. Yes, they are. Oh, thanks, Deborah. Sonny and Tom Hagen and Fredo, and they've got Sollozzo sitting there. And Sollozzo's telling him what he can do with the heroin, and Sonny opens up his big mouth. They're done talking. Vito turns around and says, never ever let anybody outside the family know what you're thinking. The Offer, my new favorite show to watch. They're in the elevator. Barry Lepidus, played by Colin Hanks, is standing there, and Bern Gorman, as Charlie Bluthorn, shoves him up against the thing and says, never fucking tell anybody what we're thinking. Okay. The one thing Chapek did, the one thing he did that broke the rules of leadership is telling everybody in, I think it was that memo, he only had 1 year to get all this done. He never should have said a word. Why? Because he made himself look weak. He made himself look like he was in a hurry. You never tell anybody when you're in a situation like this what you're thinking. Okay? Period. Full stop. This is why when you watch The Godfather, Godfather 2, and Michael is in a Chatty Cathy doll, he's basically watching people, listening. And I'll say this because I did like it. Boba Fett. Boba Fett allows Fennec Chan to do the talking for him. He's watching everybody. He doesn't have to say anything. Oh, so when I hear people, these really work too, Ricola. These are awesome. When I hear people talk about this stuff, and I realize they don't know. I mean, look, politics. They ask you a question. You got Dick Armey, Brian Gunderson as chief of staff. You got Tom DeLay and the minority and the majority whips, the other whips, hanging out. Got Pelosi right here. Do you think my boss is going to tell Nancy Pelosi exactly what he's thinking? No, he's not. And if she's smart, she's not going to tell him either. All right. Despite my hate for her, because I've had to sit there and talk to that bitch. Clever woman in politics. Knows how to manipulate her base very easily. All right. You never let anybody outside the family, outside your circle, your tight circle, not out there but here, know what you're thinking. And if you can get away with it, don't let them know what you're thinking. All right? Why? It's good business sense. You need to see things. You need to read the situation. I advise people who honestly think that the two stories about Kathy, she's still staying. She's not going anywhere. I need more proof. You go back and reassess it. Go back and reassess it. Don't tell people that have been working on this for years, that have, my phone is chock full of articles about Kathy Kennedy for the last 5 years, okay? The last 2 years have been, all right, since the moment Gina Carano was told they don't want her anymore. All right. Don't sit there and tell people who, I don't know, are using different methods of looking at the evidence that they're stupid, or you're doing this and this is stupid and intelligence gathering. I mean, are you kidding me? How many people here are in business? Put a 1 in the chat. Like, actually are executives. All right. Do you honestly think that those people in Wall Street, Ford, Tesla, Apple, aren't gathering intelligence on their rivals? Aren't trying to see what their rivals are going to do next? Are you kidding me? Are you that dumb? They all have people doing research. They all have people saying, it looks like Chrysler is coming out with this car next year. All right. You know, when there's a merger happening. I mean, I'll tell you. All right, this is perfect, in fact. 2018. How many watched the rivalry between Comcast and Disney over Fox? Comcast put out an obscene offer for Fox. Why? No, why? Because they knew Disney would try, hey, deleted scenes, would try to top them, and it would hurt Disney in the end. And they were right. That is intelligence. That is setting up an operation, okay, against Bob Chapek. Or not, Bob Chapek in the end, but Bob Iger. Okay, knowing Bob Iger's hubris would not allow him to back out. That is how you do it in business. Do you honestly think business is a peaceful thing when you get in that area of Mergers and acquisitions? No, it's war. It's fucking war. And they're trying to one-up each other. Hey, Joe, with knowledge of what the other's going to do, strategy, etc., etc. When you get to this level of corporate malarkey, which is what it was, you're in a level of corporate warfare. All right? Corporate warfare. And you better be able to handle it. You better be able to go, okay, I see where this is going now. Okay? Because if you're not, you're going to get shocked. And you're going to be a very sad person in the end. Okay? That's what Comcast did. They set up Disney to overspend by a lot for Fox. And the person that won? Rupert Murdoch. Even though he's looking at his shares in Disney right now going, what the fuck? You know? And he's probably telling Chapek and Arnold, fire those bloody wankers right now. And I'm talking about the woke folk. Okay. But I'll tell you, Disney was set up. Comcast set Disney up. All right. It happens every day on Wall Street. It happens every day when you get to those levels. Okay. I mean, and it was so obvious after the after effect when you realize how much debt Disney accrued by acquiring Fox. It was like, they got fucked. They got reamed. Okay? Big time. By Comcast. Not by, I mean, Fox is just going, you know, were we really worth it? No. But that juicy catalog, $70 billion. $70 billion. Okay? That's what they spent on it. All right? And they are in debt up to their asses. And this is why when I see people saying, oh, Disney's just going to go merrily along, I look at their shares. One point today, they were at $100. 3 months ago, they were selling at 180 some. Okay? They're not happy, yappy, clappy. All right? For everything that's going on, like at the parks. Oh, I know. I mean, I know, C-Man, I know. When you look at the parks, you know who's keeping them afloat? Foreign visitors. Foreign visitors don't go to the water park. The water parks are barely making it right now for Disney. Okay? So do not tell me that Disney's fine. It's not. I look at... Get used to it. This is where the truth is going to be. Not in Vanity Fair or Variety, Wall Street Journal, Barron's, the financial pages. That's where the truth is going to be. And if Zuckerberg's getting his comeuppance today, good. Anyway, I got to go, so I'm going to rock and roll. But as far as I'll do more into the Obi-Wan thing, but I do think that he leaves Tatooine to to keep the Inquisitors from finding Luke. Yes, I am, C-Man. See you guys around the galaxy. Behave, be safe. I'm gonna go and have a coughing fit. Talk to you later.